Alright guys, welcome to a video with me, the STONKDAD. Let's get right into it. So last week we did a recap video that most of you liked, so I'm back. It's Friday. Usually I do them on Sunday, but over the weekend I'm going to be pretty busy with some family stuff. My brother-in-law is actually having a baby, so we're having a general reveal for him and his wife. So that'll be fun. I'll be busy doing all that stuff and then with family and stuff. So I figured I had some time today on Friday to go over the weekly trades that I did from Monday to Friday. We're going to see how well we did, how well the data did, and then how we can react to next week, how we could do better. From what I remember, Wednesday was my red day of the week, but honestly 4 for 5 the week was really good. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through each of our trades. We're going to go through the analysis that I put out on Discord, and we're going to be talking about all those things and how you guys can utilize it for your own trading. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so honestly this chart here on the right of SPY isn't going to be of much help, but we'll try to utilize it the best we can. But right over here I'm going to be sharing my analysis, and then we're going to be flipping in between channels to see the positions that I got into and what happened throughout that day. Okay, so this is kind of new for me too. This is like these are my journal entries per se, and I'm going through this just live with you guys. So it's gonna be a lot of stuff. We're gonna figure it out together and see what's going on. Okay, so here is Monday, the 28th of April. You can see in my post here we have call flow coming way up, $4 million in premiums, this green line here. We have a big green opening candle. Well, it looks like actually we wicked up here and then we came back down and then had another green candle. So to me, when I see that out the gate, that's pretty bullish with the amount of premiums pumping up there. So I say here call flow is looking good, just not any higher GEX levels at the moment. So you guys know what I do with my analysis with the gamma exposure levels, the GEX levels, is these negative levels down here are the magnet levels. Those are the levels that dealers have to position themselves in order to hedge their positions and push the market one way or the other. So in my analysis here is what I'm saying is that there's not any higher GEX levels coinciding with this bullish, the bullish call flow, right? So in this case, I'm kind of just sitting on my hands, and then right here, the next post, it looks like call flow had dumped off, and I think eventually later on in the day I was positioned to go short. But let's see exactly what I did. Oop, that's not the right channel. Let's see what happened on Monday and what I did here. So it looks like about 15 minutes after the market opened is when I positioned myself to go long at 6:49 a.m. I think I got instant stop right when I got in that. So probably this red candle here down. And then you can see that we got this data shift here. So I think I was trying to front run some gamma exposure to the upside. I think right here is when it started pulling to the upside, and I just immediately got in longs, but I got stopped out right away. So that was a losing trade right out the gate. But I don't think I lost too much, because obviously you can see that I had some good gains here, $394 on the day. But we're going to go to the data and see exactly what made me take this short. So it looks like I caught shorts on live with everyone. I didn't post it in here, but on the live stream it looks like I did get it. So let's go on over to the data and see what happened here. It looks like I posted this at 9:03 my time. I'm Pacific time, by the way, guys, if you want to compare. So here is my data analytics here for... Oops, I think this was from today. I gotta scroll, sorry guys. I need to go back to the 28th. There we go. Okay, so this is where we were before. It looks like I was saying flow is kind of meh. This is probably when I got stopped out around this level. Looks like I got stopped out and it just mooned, which is crazy. Let's see. Yeah, so it looks like I got stopped out long right on this candle and it went up, which is crazy to see. But that was only 18 minutes after the market opened. But look at the data shift here. So not even within like 40 minutes or so, look at the data now. So we had that huge push up in calls right around here. And then, yeah, this is the same day. I had to make sure, sorry. So right here, you can see that we had bearish flow. So I think, yeah, we got that huge push up in the market. Oh, you guys can't even see it on the screen. I'm sorry. Here, let me actually just go to the 28th so you guys can see what happened price action wise. So right here, so this is when I got into longs, like right when the market opened in SPY. It looks like we got a push up. I got stopped out probably around this candle or something. This is a 15-minute chart, so it's confusing me a little bit. So let me get it on the 5-minute chart and go to Monday. Okay, here we go. So this is when I got into some longs. Looks like I got faked out. Yeah, with this red candle down right here. So I didn't actually, it didn't go up in my favor after that, now that I look at this. But we did have a nice downtrend. So let's see what happened here. So I did get into some shorts, it says in my channel here. I got into shorts live at 9:03, or short probably before this, because obviously I'm posting a screenshot. So let's see what happened here before on this data. So it says right here, 548 is pulling now on GEX. Flow is bearish. I'm not in anything yet, so this is at 721. So if we click on this, you can kind of see that this is what was happening. The price action here is matching up to right about here. And then it says later on, complete mess right now. We keep holding 550 and not breaking it. So this is this level here. We keep holding it, bouncing off of it. And then eventually it looks like we broke, and I think we took shorts around this level. Yeah, so it says breaking 550 with red convergence. You can see down here. It's probably hard for you guys to see. But we have red convergence. We have a confluence with flow. And then we also have that break of that 550 level, which was pretty strong down here. So it looks like we caught some shorts on that red convergence, and then we held it to 548, which was that GEX level that was pulling, right? 548 up here in my analysis. You can see that this big level down here, 548, it's matching up with flow. Flow is bearish, red convergence, and everything there. So that's usually what I look for. I know I'm going really fast, guys, so don't get confused. But we're only on Monday, so we got to get through this whole week within like 15 minutes, and I'm already halfway through this video. So just bear with me. If you need to go back and watch it, you'll probably understand it through the second time. But right here, we got that break of 550, and we hit 548. Boom, just like that. Those are the GEX level pulls. That's what I look for. The confluence between flow and GEX is amazing, guys. So it looks like I took a small loss in the morning on longs, but then we made it all back plus more just on that short entry there, all the way down to that GEX level. So it looks like we did go a little bit lower than 540. It looks like we hit about 545 down there. Let's see if, I don't know if I posted anything about 545. Yeah, I think that was it. So I kind of just cut off my analysis after I hit that short entry, but kind of crazy reversal at the end of the day. But if we go back here here's the flow from Monday. You can see how we had red convergence, red convergence, red convergence. We had a little gray there and more red up until we had gray convergence, and we had that V-shaped recovery on that gray convergence trade there. I'm not sure exactly what the GEX levels we're looking at towards the last half of the day because I didn't post about it. But nonetheless, we still hit that short, and our analysis was pretty spot on there with that short entry to 548. So let's move on to the next day. So Tuesday, from what I remember, was a pretty good day too. Right out the gate, you can see that I'm saying I like downside. We have calls dumping, which is pretty bearish when we have calls selling off. This was right in the morning. You can see we have these GEX levels down here, 546 and 544. Looks like we hit 548 pre-market. We came back up, and then we're looking for kind of like a resistance level right here at 550. I was looking at that. It looks like we probably broke above it. Oh yeah, we did break above to 551 and rejected it. Looks like I was saying here, still being patient. We have news in 10 minutes, so I was waiting for the news that came out. Data is still bearish, and it says news is out in a bullish trend. GEX 50-50, 554 is our most negative level. So 554 is probably upside, yeah. So I think I was staying out in this instance because we had differentiating GEX levels. So we had GEX levels to the downside and upside, but the upside level was pulling harder, and we have great convergence too, and we're in an uptrend too. So I think that's what I was looking for. I was just being patient. Also, now that I look at it, it looks like the put flow wasn't all that strong either. So just looking at that, I don't think I entered a short. Let's see exactly what I did here on the 29th. Here we go. Oh, it looks like it took a long. So it looks like it took a long at 713, probably because of that GEX level that was pulling, and I got stopped out. So that was like a B setup because I was going against the flow data, right? So I lost 5 points there. Probably not the worst. But yeah, I think, let's see what happened here. So I said right on the day, going to go take my daughter to school, blah, blah, blah. Data is not lining up. So after I got stopped out of that, I think I waited. Oh, this was the 29th. What was the 29th? 29th was Tuesday. Oh, it looks like I took the loss on Tuesday. I thought Wednesday was that bad day, so it must have been Tuesday. Interesting. Okay, so Tuesday was that bad day. I think I took the loss on that day. Let's see what happened here, what I was saying here on the 29th. I got to keep looking at my stuff. 554 is pulling hard. I think it eventually did. That's funny. So it looks like it did take the loss on those longs, but it eventually did hit 554. Looking at this this data here, it's insane. So we have these. We had a very, very choppy upside. We have all these GEX levels pulling to the upside. Look at this. We have 552, 553, 554, and 555, but flow was not matching up. What's funny, though, is I did take a long, but I just got chopped out of it, I think. And it eventually did hit that 554, it looks like. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. You can see how frustrated it was. GEX levels still pulling higher. 555 is the most negative. Contradicting data, super annoying because I would have loved to play longs to these levels, but the chop is crazy. So yeah, you can see this price action is wild in between these levels. Obviously, flow wasn't lining up, but you guys saw that I did take the long, but then I took a loss on it, which is super frustrating. Then I think eventually we did hit it. So let's see what happens here. So I said, of course, it's going up, frustrating because I got in longs twice today and I got stopped out. And it's about to hit 555. So, I mean, GEX was right there. It's good to see that that data was working. I probably shouldn't have taken anything, even though I did take longs and it would have been right if I would have held it. But the flow data wasn't leading towards that level, even though it was right with the GEX levels right. So, I did take the loss on that day. I'm crazy. There we go. 555 hit. That was the day that I was really pissed. If you guys know, you know. Okay. So let's look at the 30th, Wednesday. So right here, absolutely terrible flow, but we have small GEX levels lower with 544 being the first and then 541. So you can see that flow data is kind of looking really terrible, but we have this downside structure going down, right? Flow is still buns, calls coming up, just staying patient for today. So looking at this, it looks like calls are curling up, which is usually a bullish sign, especially if they cross. That's some strength within the bulls there. So let's see what I say here. Currently, flow is slightly bullish. Our most negative level is 549 on SPY, which is higher. I'm watching this one to see if it gets stronger. So this is when I think I took longs, and then I held it towards that 549 level. So if you look at the screenshot, I probably can't see it, man. I need to fix that. But yeah, you can see right here that calls are pushing and then this 549 level. So if I go over here to this chart on Wednesday the 30th, this is when, oh yeah, so we bottomed right here, which is crazy. So you can see it's matching up with this chart. I say currently flow is slightly bullish. Our most negative level is 549. So we were roughly around this level at 546, it looks like. Let me see. Oh, 545 is when I took that screenshot, was right here when price action. And 549 was actually $4 higher than what I was looking. So that was my target for today. Given the current GEX level, I think we may hit 550. I think we hit 549. Yeah, we did. When I took this screenshot, so we had a little bit higher to go with this GEX level pulling. Yeah, so look at this. 549 was the most, but then we also had 550 equally as strong on this chart. So I believe I did take longs and I held all the way up to that level, which is really nice for me. I said TP hit, this will be flipped today. That's when I got in longs the day prior. So let's go to 430, April 30th. Anyone in longs with me from live stream? I'm holding micros in the car. We'll be back at 10:15. Oh, I was just updating you guys on my thing. I'm holding to, I corrected myself. I said I'm holding to 548 on SPY. So at this point, it was like about 8 a.m. my time. That was about here. this green candle. So I was in longs around here. I was holding all the way up to that 548 level, which is up here, and it obviously went a little bit higher to 550, which is cool. I said here, I tell you guys every single day to trust the data. What happened? GEX pulls to 549, and we just hit it. It's absolutely mind-boggling, is what I say. So there we go. We caught that whole trade up all the way up to that 549 level. Really, really nice day. That was Wednesday. So let's cruise along here. We did really good there. It took a payout. So yesterday, let's look at yesterday. Looks like it took longs right out the gate. Looks like I got stopped out of breaking even at that one, but then I think I got back in, yeah. So I got in back long 2 MES at 7:36 my time. So let's take a look at what the data was saying yesterday, which was May 1st. Dun dun dun. Oops, yesterday. I just skipped it. My bad. So let's move on here to when I started taking that trade. So I say very choppy action, no strong premiums at all. So what I was saying here is basically I'm just showing you guys what the call flow is looking like. So we have puts down below and then calls above, obviously, but it wasn't too strong. But I think I got in once calls started to curl up a little bit. Yeah. So you can see that calls started to curl up a little bit, and then we have these upper GEX levels, right? So you have 563, 564, and 565. I have on this chart here, you probably can't see, obviously, but I have 564 up here as a target. So, and then I obviously updated 564, hit, boom. We got a nice wick off that, and that was my TP. It looks like I got in before that. Let's see what I got. Yeah, 736, and we held it all the way up to our TP. Right there, 564 on the nose was the top there. If we scroll on over here to yesterday, oops, I'm moving lines. So here is the levels here. It looks like 564 was the top of the day, which is crazy. 564 level hit on the nose, and we had a very nice trade that day. So let's move on to today, which is Friday. I did pretty much the same thing that I did yesterday. I took longs out the gate right when the market opened. If I would have held that, it would have been awesome. But I did get back in shortly after that, about 40 minutes after I got stopped out of these. I lost, I think like 160. Yeah, I lost 160 bucks on these first initial longs. But then I got back in and made it all back. So let's look at the data here, what it was looking like for today. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so here is what we were looking like. So we had a pretty strong out the gate move on calls. We also had this 568 level pulling. So that's what I really look for in the morning, is that strong move out the gate with flow premium, and then also those GEX levels. So that's what I was looking at, and that's probably why I got into longs so prematurely. But I did get stopped out, which sucks. I did take a quick loss, but obviously it made it back with a very, very nice long play after that. So let's see what happens here. So I say still okay flow. Those upside GEX levels got erased, so it looks like, yeah, they weren't as strong as they were before. So I made note of that here. That's probably when I got stopped out. And then we got a flow premium flip, which was kind of that kind of threw me off because we had a 560 level pull in here as well. But I think I just remained patient through that. I don't think I got into shorts at that time, but I say here 560 is pulling on GEX, flow is so. So you can see that I didn't really get into that or mention going short just because flow premium was really, really weak in the morning. And then obviously we got a huge push right after we had that flip here. So you can see that it flipped around a little bit, and then we got a huge push, and then we got a bottom in the market when we got that wick off. I don't even know what it was this morning. Let's see. Yeah, so we got a wick off 563, and then you can see that flow started to pick up a lot after that wick up. And then we also had those GEX levels pulling up a little bit. It did throw me off a little bit with this 560 level, but obviously that counteracts what flow is saying, right? So we're just absolutely ripping on that call flow premium at about 20 million out the gate. So I'm not even thinking about downside, just looking at that. So I say here, call flow is still pumping hard, thinking for a blow off the top after all this consolidation. So I'm sitting through this in longs, guys. So if I go over to my channel, you can see what I was at. So I was in long 2. I was only in 2 micros here, but I had a pretty far stop It was below this pivot level, but I had a far TP as well. I think I might have moved that later on. Yeah, I think I moved it after the fact. Don't remember what happened here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I moved that. Oh, that's right. What I remember what happened. I added a contract. So instead of 2 micros, I had 3. So I was able to catch a little bit more profit on that. So right here, I'm kind of just explaining what's going on here. So we had a lot of consolidation during this time. I was actually up quite a bit. I was only up $90 with 2 micros, but I think I was up, yeah, like about 150 at one point, but we just consolidated like crazy. As you can see here, we have call flows still going up, but we just held it for like about 2 or 3 hours, I want to say. Yeah, so here we go. Here's an updated chart right here. So I have 3 contracts here, and we were just consolidating. I was up quite a bit here, but we just kept going down, and then I moved my stop up a little bit since I had 3 contracts. But my TP was way up here, guys. This is about where those GEX levels were pulling, right? So we had, looks like here with this line, we had 560. I know it was 568 at one point. Oh yeah, there's 568, that blue one. Pretty negative level there. I think it was easier. I might have taken a better screenshot on the flow channel here. Let's see. Yeah, so here are these upside GEX levels. So see how 568 is pulling? So that was the level that I was looking for long. And I posted it here on my chart right here. So there's 567.5 on my chart, and then 568. Those are the 2 levels that we're pulling. And while we were consolidating in the morning, which is crazy. And that was my TP up there. I'm pretty sure we got on this huge candle up, my TP hit around this level. So if we go on over to here, hopefully I'm not boring you guys. This is a longer video, dang it. Jesus is going to kill me. But yeah, I'm getting through this. Hopefully you guys are learning a little bit. But you can see that right here I say still holding here are my levels. I got to go. I had a couple appointments today to go to. So right when I left was when my TP hit, which is crazy. There we go. We have that huge move up to 568-ish. And my TP hit from wherever it was on ES. 5716.5 was my TP on those ES longs. So we made all of our money back plus $250 or so on one account, which is really awesome. But you guys see my update. Can you be any more spot on with that TP? You're welcome. GEX is unmatched. So there was my my screenshot there. Really awesome. And made 250 on one account, 500 on another one, and yeah, we're rolling it with top 1 and top step combines. Not combines, funded accounts. I have a couple instant funded accounts too. I have a 50K and 150K with top fund. I haven't got a payout with them, but this is my first week with them, so we'll see how that goes. But that's for another time. I won't bore you guys with that. But hopefully you guys learned a little bit about what I look for in my data analytics and like my trades and stuff. I was kind of just yapping to myself, just explaining how I analyze the data and what I do to take trades and what I'm looking for. It's been highly effective today, or not today, this whole week, guys. We pretty much went 4 green days out of 5. We had 1 red day on Tuesday, which is the bad one. But if I would have held that, which is crazy, we would have been green that day as well. But yeah, guys, I'm not complaining about a 4 for 5 week at all. Last week we had a similar thing. We had 4 for 5, I believe, last week. But yeah, guys, hopefully we have a similar week next week. I'm excited. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you in the next one.